Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Amra and this is Amra's Beauty Blog. If you're a subscriber, then a welcome return. If you like this video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for weekly uploads. Just as I'm about to go on holiday, I finally get my Lisa Edridge delivery. This is everything that I got. I was kindly gifted this red pouch. It was a long story, but my order got stuck somewhere in Lisa's order system and I didn't get my order for a week. I was chasing. Lisa's team were fantastic. It's been a bit of a nightmare, but it's sorted now. One of them came damaged, but I'm going to get the team to replace it. The case just came a bit dented. I've got my shades, which I'm going to show you today. These are the Liquid Silk new eyeshadows from Lisa. And I'm so excited because since these launched, I was dying to get my hands on these. And I've got all 5 shades, so I'm going to show you these. I also have the new eyeshadow palette in the shade Fawn. I am really excited to try this. I've got a bare face, hardly any makeup on, just foundation and concealer, but I really wanted to test this out today with you. I just wanted to show you the pouch that I got. This is the gorgeous pouch from Lisa. I love her pouches. I love using them. They're just the best. If you're a Lisa stan, then you know how great these pouches are. What I'm going to do in this video is try and keep it quite succinct. I'm just going to show you the shades on my eyelids and probably do less talking than I normally do. A lot of this has already been explained by Lisa. Without further ado, let's go through a little brief description of what these are. So, as you may know, this comes in 5 shades. Looking at Lisa's website now, the shade that has sold out is the shade IONE. I'm not sure whether that's just a popular shade or it's just easy for a lot of people in terms of skin tone, but that colour's sold out. Liquid Silk allows you to create a natural eye look in seconds with a super smoothing and blurred silky matte finish. There's 5 nuanced natural shades, beautifully blurred washes of colour. Whether you blend for a subtle look or layer for more intensity, Liquid Silk smooths effortlessly on the lid, allowing for application playtime to blend out seamlessly before setting to a long-lasting finish. There are ways in which Lisa has asked you to use this. She mentions that your eyelid should be clean and dry as you apply the product on top of each moisturizer and eye cream. It will compromise the setting and the smoothing and staying power of the formula. So I've done my skincare a while ago now, so we should be okay. Liquid silks are very pigmented, so Lisa recommends starting with 2 swipes or dots, apply with the applicator and blend out immediately with either your fingers or a brush for an even wash of colour. Once you get used to the formula, you can adjust the amount you use depending on your desired level of depth and intensity. For easy removal, Lisa recommends taking your liquid silk off with a good oil-based remover. So we're going to look at those first, and then we're going to look at the new eyeshadow palette, which is Fawn, and I'll finish off with a nice look and then give you my thoughts on this product. The full ingredients: it has lapacho bark, which is a unique oil-based eco-friendly ingredient derived from lapacho bark known as the tree of life through sustainable extraction, and it promotes improved skin firmness and has an immediate noticeable smoothing effect. Self-setting chronotech, a special time-release mix of texturing film formers, creates a transforming texture that melts onto the lid before self-setting. Spherical powder delivers silky texture with a beautifully blurred matte finish, and shea butter, which is moisturizing conditioning for the skin for added comfort and an extra flattering result. I'm very excited to try these. I'll also do an arm swatch of all 5 shades so you can see them side by side on my skin tone, which is like a medium to tan skin tone. Can't wait to get started, so let's take a look. So what I'm going to do is start with the lightest and then move to the darkest. The first one is IONE, which is the one that has sold out, and I really want to see how this looks. This is best for light skin with cool rosy undertone. This may look more like an eyeshadow for me, and in the sense of just like a nice one and done shadow, but let's take a look. This is IONE Cool Mauvey Grey. So this is the shade IONE. So this is IONE and it's quite interesting. I would probably use this like as a base shade because it's kind of cool toned on me, as you can see, but also it's not like the most sort of one and done shade I could use because it doesn't really uplift my skin tone as much as maybe someone who's fairer. So I think this would suit someone of a fairer complexion. But I just wanted to show you IONE. If you go to Lisa's video, she explains the inspiration for each of the names. I just wanted to just quickly show you IONE. And this is a shade that's sold out at the moment. So I just went off camera and I added a little bit of blush and a little bit of lip because it just looked a little bit pale. But what I've done is I've taken off the colour now and we're going to move on to the next shade. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, so we're going to move on to the shade PHOEBE, which is a warm light camel. This is the shade PHOEBE. I will swatch all of these right at the end for you. I love the texture. It was really smoothing on the eye. You kind of get a feel of how much to use when you start using it. But I'm using my fingers because I feel like the application is a lot nicer when I use my fingers. So this is PHOEBE. Very similar to my skin tone. Almost identical. A really good base for me, I think. So Lisa recommends that PHOEBE is good for light to medium skin with neutral, golden and olive skin tones. I'm a neutral skin tone and I would say yes, it works as a base, a really lovely base, but I wouldn't say it's like a one and done shade. I think I'm going to get that in the coming shades. So this is PHOEBE. Right, so let's move on to the next shade. This is the shade IRENE, and IRENE is described as a neutral peachy beige. So this is best for light to medium skin tones of all undertones. This is the shade IRENE. IRENE kind of looks like the previous one for some reason. I just feel like they're quite similar, but on me they look quite similar. This is IRENE. So we're moving on to GAIA, and GAIA is a golden brown, and this may be more my territory. Best for medium to deep skin of all undertones, so this is probably better for me. This is the shade GAIA. This is my shade, 100% my shade. I think with this one, you could probably use a brush because the colour is a little bit more pigmented. I'm just going to go in with a brush and just get this looking the best I can. This is definitely my one and done shade and the base shade if I want, but I really like this shade. This is GAIA. I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara because I think this is going to make everything lift. Right, so I've just gone away and added a bit of mascara, and this is my kind of shade. I'm using Lisa's Kitten Lash mascara. You can see that it just lifts everything. My face just looks more alive. It suits my complexion and my skin tone. So I would say if you are of a similar skin tone to me, GAIA is the one to choose. I'm going to try the next one, which is the final one, but I think either of these two should be really good for someone of my skin tone. I think the other three shades would suit someone of a fairer complexion. Right, so we've reached the final colour. This is the colour THALIA. It's a deep rosewood and it's best for medium to deep skin of all undertones. I'm looking forward to THALIA. So this is the shade THALIA. I can't explain how smooth this texture is. It's so smooth. This shade is absolutely gorgeous. I think I've put a bit too much here. But it's so easy to apply with your finger. It's very pigmented, this one, like the one before, because it's darker. So I would just, if you need to tidy up anything, grab a brush and just do that. So I'm just going to do that now. It's stunning, this shade, so pretty. Right, so this is the shade THALIA, and I really like this shade. It's a definite one and done shade for someone of my skin tone. I really love the way it looks on my eyes, and yeah, this is very pretty. I just added a tad bit of concealer. It was just needing a little bit of tidying up, but other than that, it's so pretty, this shade. So this is the final of the 5 shades. I'm going to do an arm swatch shortly of all 5 shades for you, and then we'll move on to Fawn. So pretty. Finally, this is THALIA. All the shades of the liquid silks. You have IONE, then you have IRENE, PHOEBE, GAIA, and THALIA. So we're now moving on to Lisa's new eyeshadow. This is her Fawn Eyeshadow Palette. The colours we have in here are Burnt Clothes, Supernaturally, White Tie, Upper West Side, Debutante, and Dorian. I think this was inspired by her time in New York from when I watched her video. So let me show you the colours. Very beautiful. Definitely more from the family of like the more neutral shades that she has from her previous palettes. I'll write down the 2 eyeshadow palettes that are kind of similar to it in some ways. This is beautiful, stunning. We have Burnt Clove, which is seamless matte, Supernaturally, which is a seamless matte, White Tie, which is luminous. We have Dorian, which is Lust, which is there. We have Debutante, which is a satin duo, and then finally we have Upper West Side here, which is a velvet. So let me quickly do some arm swatches. We'll start off with the top shade here. Then this one. Then this shade here. Then this one here. Finally, the shade on the end. Gorgeous. So what I've gone and done is I put GAIA on top just as a base because I want to see how it looks with this. I'm quite intrigued. Let's take the shape Upper West Side first because I want to see how that looks on my eyes because it's quite light. I think what it does, it just subdues the GAIA a little bit. But it's a nice thing to have as a base. So I'm just going to take Supernaturally and just see how that looks just across there. And then I am going to explore the shade Dorian, which is the darker shade on the edge here. Just want to see what it looks like. I'm just taking that out on the outer V. Bit of the shade Dorian. Quite a nice crease shade there, and then I'm gonna see that shade at the bottom. So this is that topper sort of shade. That one is Debutante. So I'm just taking the shade Debutante and I'm just gonna put it on the eyes, but on the center of the lid. There is a tad bit of fallout just as I do this. I can feel it sort of falling on my cheek. This is a nice shade. This is Debutante, and it's just making everything brighter on my lid there. And then I'm going to take a smaller brush and go into that highlighter shade. That one is called White Tea. So I'm just going to go into White Tea. I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of the eye, White Tea. Same as the other side. And any excess, just using it on the brow bone. Under the eyebrow, same on the other side. Taking that as well and putting it on the tip of my nose, and then a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And then what I'm going to do is take this dark shade, which is the last shade I haven't used yet, Burnt Clove. So I'm going to use Burnt Clove as more of a liner. So I've got a more finer brush. This is one of Lisa's brushes actually. So we're going to just put that on the eye, just like a kind of line. I'm just trying to deepen that just there. Just kind of intensified it a bit. And then what I'm going to do now is just going to go away, add some mascara, some liner, and I will be back. Okay, so I've just gone away, I've added some mascara, some brow, some liner, some blush and some lip just to finish the look off, and this is the finished look using Lisa's new palette Fawn. It's very, very pretty. Okay, so that is everything, and I just wanted to give you my final thoughts on this. I have really enjoyed using the liquid silks from Lisa. I think that the two shades obviously that match me best are GAIA and THALIA. The other three, PHOEBE I could get away with just as a kind of base shade, but the other two are a little bit too light for me, but I'll continue using them as kind of base shades or gift them to someone who's a bit more fairer than I am. In terms of the formula, I love the formula. It feels really nice. You do have a bit of playtime when you put the colour onto your eyes, so that's really good because you might want to get a brush and just make sure you've done a good job, but there's plenty of playtime, which I like. Lisa's palette Fawn is really pretty. The colour is really, really nice, and it's a really lovely kind of neutral palette, a palette that everybody can use, and I think that's why it's also been very, very popular. I know that that's something that Lisa does really well, is bring out shades that everybody is able to wear. I'd probably say with the Fawn palette, I had to experiment a little bit to get the shades working for me before I was able to kind of show you what I was going to do, because I think that they're a little bit different to what I'm used to, but it doesn't mean that you won't be able to use them. I think you just have to play with it a little bit to get kind of used to it on your skin tone, but it works for me. It's very, very pretty and an everyday kind of palette, which I really, really like, because that means I'm going to use it more often. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.